What is up, guys? It is Nick Fiore, the creator of the Furious Nation YouTube channel, right here on YouTube.com. Happy Sunday, everybody! It is September. It is Sunday, September the 6th of 2020 today. Hope you guys are having a good Sunday today. And with me right here is Adam. He's on Twitter and stuff, and yeah. This right here is the review last night for All Elite Wrestling All Out 2020 at Daly's Place in Jacksonville, Florida, from a night ago. Now, I couldn't watch the pay-per-view last night because of family stuff, and it was too late for me to order the pay-per-view when I got back. But I did, however, watch what was going on with the pay-per-view and the good, the bad, the ugly. But from what I watched and saw on Twitter last night, looks like it was a decent show. But now, before I get attacked by the AEW fan base, last night was a decent pay-per-view, but I do have some criticisms on it, and I do feel like the show could have been a lot better. Your thoughts on the pay-per-view as a whole from last night, Adam?
My thoughts are, the pay-per-view was actually good. I'll have to admit, the wrestling was good, but the three really killed this show. The opening match between Big Swole and Britt Baker, fucking awful. I mean, what does tooth and nail even mean? What does the stipulation even stand for, tooth and nail?
In fact, speaking of that match, the SmackDown review was yesterday. You can go check it out on the channel from yesterday, guys, if you'd like. In fact, you and I, Adam, towards the end of the SmackDown review from yesterday, Adam, we were still doing the review while Britt Baker and Big Swole was going on.
I didn't even watch the match. It was good. I'm glad I didn't watch the match, but it was fucking terrible.
NXT's women's division is better than AEW's women's division. AEW's women's division still needs a lot of work. Yeah, give them time, but they do need a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
They do.
Honestly, why were they wrestling on the main show? In fact, it was actually supposed to have been on the pre-show, on the buy-in pre-show. But all the people on Twitter criticized it, and they wanted it to be on the main show. Look what happened. One of the worst women's matches of 2020 was produced in Britt Baker versus Big Swole.
Yeah, something was very, very off in the match. Although Britt Baker, I've heard, has gotten better. And by the way, guys, I like Britt Baker, but sorry, but I mean, I love Bayley, the real role model, over Britt Baker. Sorry, guys, but nothing against Britt Baker, but I think Bayley's my real role model over Britt Baker.
Our real role model, Bayley. She had the role model nickname before Britt Baker took it from her.
Yeah, I don't know. Although it's a subjective kind of thing, but that's just me.
Cody Rhodes apparently knew Bayley was a heel, and he wanted to. He actually went to her to make pieces and to copy her role model gimmick, and she made a deal with it. But she wanted it to change it. She wanted Cody to change it a bit for Britt Baker.
Apparently, yeah, looks like it.
Adam Cole even went to Bayley to have his girlfriend do the role model gimmick, and Bayley agreed with it, but she wanted it to be changed a bit for Britt Baker.
Probably. That kind of makes sense, I guess, Adam. But Big Swole, or Ariel Monroe from the 2018 Man Classic, she wrestled Britt Baker from last night at All Out. Not that good of a match from some people. But yeah, after watching on Twitter and during the show from last night, yeah, could have been better. Just something was off. That's just me. But we're gonna go over what happened all with AEW All Out last night. There was the buy-in pre-show. Unfortunately, here I'm not gonna go over that because what matters most is the main card on AEW All Out. So that is what we're doing for this All Out review right here. For this All Out review, right here on the Furious Nation channel, right here on YouTube.com. Also, some like Adam just said, few botches last night. One that was not just Matt Hardy nearly fucking died last night. 10 feet all the way down to the concrete floor. Totally not needed. Not needed.
Him and Sammy Guevara were on top of a forklift, and both connected on the table, but Matt Hardy's head connected on the concrete.
Right in the back of his head, and when after that spot happened, you could tell Matt just wasn't there. He wasn't there at all. And that looked fucking scary. He could have died.
So much Matt Hardy, we could have seen the end of his career.
Yeah, he
could have seen a death experience with Matt Hardy, a death experience, near death.
Yeah, he could have died off that spot, and I hope he's okay. Even Matt Hardy's wife was furious about it. Who can blame her?
Yeah, Rebby Hardy.
Rebby Hardy, Matt Hardy's wife.
And ranted.
Yeah. I mean, she really ripped the man after that spot.
Yeah.
And we all know Rebby Hardy's, it's not the first time she's ripped people to shreds and ripped them a new one.
I mean, she ripped Vince McMahon. Well, for how he was treating Matt Hardy in his last 4 months in the company before he had a concerto on his head by Randy Orton that took him off of TV.
Even when the Hardys left TNA in early 2017, when Anthem Sports just was completely mean to the Hardys and told them, like, because Matt Hardy wanted control in TNA over the broken gimmick, TNA and Anthem Sports never gave it to him. And then they told the Hardys, well, just go back to WWE then, which set Jeff off big time. And that's when the Hardys just decided to leave TNA altogether in early 2017. And Rebby Hardy ripped TNA a new one there too and said, quote, fuck the owl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt Hardy still had control over the broken gimmick anyway. He still had the trademarks for the broken gimmick, and he still owns it to this day.
Yeah, TNA in 2017 said, they said Matt doesn't own it, but TNA does. But can you really believe them?
Oh, funny. I mean, Vince McMahon. I mean, Vince McMahon. Have you seen Vince McMahon even fight with Matt Hardy over the control of the gimmick?
No, never.
I think Vince McMahon allowed Matt Hardy to have control over everything. It's going to be broken there. Matt Hardy did it, which Matt Hardy was doing.
It may have changed.
Doing stuff. At least Vince McMahon allowed Matt Hardy to keep the broken gimmick with him. I didn't say anything.
Yeah, I mean, at least yes, it was watered down to Woken gimmick, but at least he had some sort of it.
Yeah, I think the broken was not. Well, he didn't have the rights to say broken, so he had to say Woken. Matt Hardy.
Yeah, but anyways, Matt, the concussion he got last night at All Out, he nearly died, and I'm hoping he's okay. I'm hearing he's still in the hospital now, and he has this big concussion, but I'm hoping he's okay. But the spot last night, totally unnecessary, man. Now I know why WWE banned the chair shots to the skull back in the day years ago.
Or they banned the pile drivers and the pile driver that connect on the back of the neck.
Yep.
Or they banned some edgy stuff back then because it was cool, but at the same time it was reckless that could have ended someone's career. Even
like with the thumbtacks that Mick Foley used to do back in the day, even barbed wire and even baseball bats wrapped in barbed wire and barbed wire wrapped around like tables, flaming tables, inferno matches. There's a reason they banned that shit years ago.
Yeah.
Because
they wanted to take care of the roster safety. Because they wanted the safety to be first for the roster when they wanted to appear on television. Yeah, remember back in the day in WWE, like they allowed the drugs, and if someone was hurt, they'd let them wrestle still anyways. But nowadays, it's more safer. Or the old ECW back in the 90s.
Yeah. At least now in WWE nowadays, they have a safer environment and they have a wellness policy. Yeah, the drug test policy and the wellness policy is a joke, but they do crack down on like with the steroids and stuff. Yeah, everyone uses the steroids in wrestling and in WWE and any wrestling promotion nowadays. Well, the WWE wrestlers currently in WWE, yeah, they all use steroids, but it's a matter of who gets caught. Look at Roman Reigns in 2016 when he fucked up.
Yeah.
It didn't matter if he was aware of it or not. Didn't matter if what he took, he screwed up.
And WWE just released that they suspended tons of people in 2007 for their
Yep. And that was when they really cracked down with the wellness policy, man. And still to this day, they do.
There's a reason why the wellness policy exists. There's a reason why. That they have to test people to see if they were, to see if they fail or succeed to test.
Plus, correct me if I'm wrong, Adam. Also, before the Benoit incident, before the Benoit tragedy, they were pushing just the steroid guys and the smaller guys to get tossed aside. But I believe after the Benoit incident, then that's when they started pushing guys like CM Punk in ECW.
Yeah. I mean, Benoit was supposed to win the ECW title against CM Punk, but he didn't show up. He no-showed the event. And then there was nobody else in ECW other than CM Punk to be pushed. So they had to push Punk to the moon, to the title.
And that was when they had... Johnny Nitro...
in September that year for the title.
Yeah, Vengeance Night of Champions 07 in late June of 07 to be specific for you guys. And it was Nitro who beat Punk at Vengeance in 07.
Yeah, Johnny Nitro, yeah. He's actually, of course, John Morrison. For those who don't know.
Yeah, he changed from Johnny Nitro to John Morrison in the summer of 2007 after Vengeance Night of Champions 07 and right before the Great American Bash in 07 as well. And that was when Punk had this big babyface chase and he eventually won the ECW title.
Yeah.
Good moment. Good moment, though.
Yeah.
And then that's when they started pushing guys like Punk and stuff. And or believe before Benoit died, they would have never pushed Punk to the moon. Look at what they did to Rey Mysterio in 06 when he won the world title after WrestleMania 22.
He was not treated like a legit champion.
Not at all. He was losing clean to guys like Kane, Great Khali, Mark Henry.
And then when he was defending his title, he was winning.
Yeah. Every time he defended his championship, he'd beat his opponents, but non-title matches, he'd lose clean. Whether it's count out, pin, submission, DQ.
Yep.
Though I'll never forget ECW One Night Stand 06, one of the matches on that show, Sabu versus Rey Mysterio, which was awesome.
Yeah. And there was one spot in the match where Sabu connected a DDT on Mysterio right through the table, and they nearly had a career-ending experience with that move, with the DDT by Sabu.
And the match was a no contest just based off that spot, and both guys are just legitimately out. Both guys were not even moving off that table bump spot from Sabu. Yeah. That shit looked crazy, man. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
But anyways, though, this is the AEW review. We're talking about WWE, but we're gonna go over AEW though. But yeah, like I said, Matt Hardy, dangerous spot last night. Should have never happened, and I'm hoping he's all right. So that's all I gotta say.
Another spot from All Out was the debut of Matt Sydal,
aka Evan Bourne. Now he botched the airborne or Seidelborn last night. He botched the shooting star press, and when he botched it, he landed. Poor Evan Bourne, man. He hit the top turnbuckle. His head at the back, his side of his head, and his right arm or shoulder hit the top turnbuckle really bad, man. Poor Matt Sydal, man. Poor Evan Bourne.
I wonder. I hope he's okay, but I still wonder if he's still feeling the effects of being RKO by Randy Orton in 2006. I wonder.
Which is, by the way, guys, one of the best mid-air RKOs of all time outside of WrestleMania 31, where Seth Rollins did the curb stomp, but Orton caught him mid-air with the RKO.
Yeah.
Now, those two mid-air RKOs, best ones of all time. It's hard to argue which one is better than the other, but it's a subjective thing. But I don't know. I love the airborne RKO in 2010. I like the one in 2015 at WrestleMania 31 with the curb stomp RKO, but it's hard to argue which one is, to be honest. Like, it's really, really hard to debate of which one is the better one out of the two. But whichever one you guys think is better than the other, it's your opinion, and it's a subjective matter when it comes to that.
Yeah.
But But like I said, man, poor Matt Sydal, man, from last night. Poor Matt Sydal. And he was actually the wild card or Joker card or wild card in the 21-man Casino Battle Royal from last night in AEW, with AEW All Out. And
I mean, you should do a lot of but what an awful way to start your debut in AEW with a fucking box.
Yeah, definitely not a good way. Definitely not a good way at all to start with AEW like that.
Who did he thought he was? He thought he was on Monday Night Raw, wrestling Randy Orton in a match, and he didn't want a repeat of 2010.
The Orton is still on Raw technically 10 years later, from 2010 to 2020 now, but he must have thought he was in 2010 off that spot. But anyways, man, couple botches, and I mean, like I said, good wrestling. Now, I like AEW. Now, don't get me wrong, I like AEW. I really do. I even have an AEW t-shirt as well, and I wear it often. Now, good wrestling last night. Definitely a decent show last night. But could this show have been better? Absolutely. I felt like after the Matt Hardy dangerous spot, I felt like the crowd died for the rest of the night after that spot, because everyone was thinking about Matt Hardy all night.
Yeah.
Legitimately.
Well, the last 4 matches made up the show. The last 4 matches actually rectified the show.
Yeah. So like I said, decent show, but it could have been better. Also, another criticism I'm going to give of the show, way too long. Way too fucking long. They went to like 12 midnight.
Yes, they went to 12 a.m. at midnight.
They started like 4 hours from 8 to 12. They should have been 3 hours or 2.5 hours.
Or 3.5 hours like SummerSlam was.
Yeah. I think SummerSlam was 3.5 hours, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
this card, it's matches. It should have been 6 matches on this card.
Exactly. I felt like the show went on forever. I thought they'd end at like 11, usually when pay-per-views end for wrestling, but they went to 12, which I felt like is too long. From 8 to 12, that's way, way too fucking long. We all complain about Raw being 3 hours, and they should go back to 2 hours, man. That piece of shit 3-hour Raw. But this show last night went on too long. I feel like if they were 3 hours last night, there would have been a big difference.
Yeah.
My opinion. But we still got a good show last night. Not great, but a good show. But we're going to go over what happened last night, though. So before we get into that, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And remember to hit that bell for all notifications when it comes to the videos coming from this channel. So remember to hit the bell for all notifications as far as that goes. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Nicholas Fiore 2014 over on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook, and Adam's also on Facebook as well. So you can add me as a friend on Facebook if you like, and you can add Adam as a friend on Facebook if you like. So the option's always there for that. Follow me on Twitter at FioreNick579 over on Twitter. And you can follow Adam on Twitter as well. So that is that as far as social media platforms to follow with that. So let's get started. AEW All Out. Like I said a little while ago with this video, I'm not going to go over the pre-show or All Out or AEW buy-in because there was some good stuff with Joey Janela and Serpentico. They had a decent match. It was 1-on-1 where Joey Janela won. Then they had Private Party of Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Queen where they defeated the Dark Order of Alex Reynolds and John Silver. But that was pretty much the pre-show. But we're going to go over the main card of what happened last night with AEW All Out. So the main show for All Out last night starts off Big Swole, a.k.a. Ariel Monroe, who was in the 2018 Mae Young Classic, and the wife of Cedric Alexander, by the way. She went 1-on-1 last night with the role model Britt Baker, though I do have to, I hate to say, Bayley's the role model, the real role model over Britt Baker. Sorry, guys. I know some of you may think, some of you may think that Britt Baker's the real role model, but I don't know. That's just me with Bayley. I think she's a better role model than Britt Baker is, but that's just my opinion before I get attacked by AEW fans, but that's just my opinion. Yeah. And I believe Bayley had this role model gimmick first before Britt Baker even had it. Literally, late last year.
He does not like when Bayley is doing things that before he does it, what he thought about. Okay.
Yeah. However, just because that's my opinion with that doesn't. Now, even with that, Britt Baker is a good wrestler. She has gotten better.
Yeah.
Britt Baker, by the way, guys, the girlfriend of Adam Cole, in case you guys didn't know. For those of you who are new watching this channel, just to let you guys know what that. So Swole enters Britt's. So it starts off with Swole entering Britt Baker's office, and she searches for DMD because Britt Baker's a dentist. I wonder if she could come to WWE and brush Britt Baker. You know, I heard she's a dentist, man. You know, she could be my dental assistant, man. Titus O'Neil, he's due for some cleaning, man. I think Britt Baker should come on over to WWE so she can fix Titus's as well as my cheeks, so I can chew on a big, nice chunk of woods.
I bet if Britt Baker is like that, but she can fix Kevin Dunn's teeth.
Yeah. I wonder if she could fix Kevin Dunn's teeth or at least be Kevin Dunn's dental assistant. You know, Britt Baker, she could be my DDS female assistant, man. I heard she's an awesome dentist, and I want to get tips from her, man, because I always keep my teeth nice and white and clean, man.
Yeah, we're talking about teeth and beavers or Kevin Dunn. Are we talking about the pay-per-view, man?
Literally.
Stay long, but anyways.
Yeah. Moving on there. So Swole enters Britt's office and she searches for the DMD. Then she walks into the office and sees what might be blood. And then we see Britt in a side office grinning with her face scarred on. Then she sneaks up on Big Swole and then hits her with the diploma. Then she tries to extract a molar from Big Swole, but gets hit with a tray. Then they brawl on the outside, and then Britt screams for Reba on the outside and rolls. And rolls Britt into a wall in her wheelchair. After this, Rebel does interfere. And then Britt kicks Swole as Rebel helps her on the Betazold platform. And then afterwards, Britt performs a DDT. Britt Baker does a DDT. And then this match is basically a 2-on-1 handicap match, this match. That Tony Schiavone notes. And then Britt Baker, she hits Big Swole with a crutch before they go back into the office. Now, after this, Britt's face mask is off and Swole smashes her face off the sink. Britt then hits a swinging neck breaker, 2 count only. And then the 2 tray shots in the hallway. Then Swole gets a near fall. Super kick by Britt Baker. Big Swole is upside down on the chair as Britt Baker has a drill. Then she accidentally drills the dentist chair. Then she gets handed a syringe, which appears to be full of Novocaine. Then Big Swole turns the tide and stabs Britt Baker in the leg with it. Then Britt's leg is out of commission as she hits Dirty Dancing, or with another diploma, on Rebel. Then she hits Dirty Dancing on Britt Baker and gives her some sleeping gas to put her out of commission. And Big Swole is your winner of this tooth and nail match against Britt Baker last night at All Out. I feel like this could have been better. But this could have been a lot better.
With these cinematic matches, what are these with these cinematic matches?
The only WWE and AEW combined with this pandemic era, I feel like the only good cinematic match is, now forget the Swamp Fight because that match was awful. I feel like the only good cinematic match of the pandemic era, as far as AEW WWE combined goes, is the Boneyard match at WrestleMania 36, night one this past April with AJ Styles and The Undertaker. That's it.
Yeah.
Yes, there was John Cena and Bray Wyatt with the Firefly Funhouse match at night 2 WrestleMania 36, but not better than the Boneyard match.
It was mostly promos and segments rather than a wrestling.
Yeah, you had Prototype Cena, then World's Bray Wyatt, and it wasn't bad, but it's just nothing but promos.
Yeah, the other two cinematic matches that were good was the Money in the Bank ladder match on top of WWE headquarters in Connecticut.
Yeah.
On Money in the Bank back in May, and the other cinematic match was a bar fight between Sheamus and Jeff Hardy. Yeah,
that too. Yep, the bar fight as well. So, only a couple cinematic matches have been good with this pandemic era this year, as far as AEW and WWE combined is concerned. The bar fight, the women's and men's Money in the Bank.
All of them from WWE, by the way. All of them for WWE.
Yes. All of them from WWE. Correct. Yep. Those are all the facts. Yep. The Boneyard match, the bar fight, and the Money in the Banks at the same time for the men and the women. Especially the bar, and in fact, guys, and by the way, folks, the bar fight was better than the Swamp Fight. Swamp Fight was awful. So bad.
It was forced.
Definitely forced. It's like, and that's how garbage Braun Strowman is, man. Anything he's in, he turns to shit.
Yeah, like why was maybe Big Swole and Britt Baker maybe should take some lessons from Jeff Hardy and Sheamus on how to do a good cinematic match.
Legitimately, even the bar fight was better than the tooth and nail match. I don't know what this was. Yeah, nothing real special with this match, but Big Swole gets the win in the tooth and nail match against Britt Baker, the role model. Next match, we get the Young Bucks in a tag team match versus Jurassic Express. Now,
Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus.
Yes. Now, I do want to make mention of this, guys. One of my current favorites in AEW right now is Jungle Boy. He is so good, and he's young.
He's getting better and better anytime he's wrestling.
And I believe weeks ago on Dynamite, he wrestled Chris Jericho when he was the AEW World Champ at the time. Very underrated match. Very good match, by the way, guys. And he really showed something.
Yeah. And Luchasaurus, this shows that he was actually once in WWE. Once.
As who?
He was actually a part of the PC from 2013. He even appeared on NXT, but he was injured, and then Dusty Rhodes wanted him to go somewhere to actually prove himself.
Wait, which group?
It was actually in NXT, if you even remember. And he got injured. He was recovering, and then Dusty Rhodes wanted him to wrestle somewhere as Luchasaurus, and he gave him the Luchasaurus gimmick idea.
Wait a minute, wasn't he the same guy as former NXT alumni Carl Bishop?
Who?
Carl Bishop. He was a performance center guy in NXT, but was released in 2013 or 2014.
Yep, I think. And then Dusty Rhodes, by the way, he's the one who came up with the Luchasaurus gimmick.
Really? I didn't even know that. That's a fun fact.
God rest his soul, by the way. God rest his soul.
Yeah. Was once the NXT promo coach in NXT before he passed away 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Lots of great stories. Finn Balor will say great stories about Dusty Rhodes, Paige will, Kevin Owens, Hideo Itami, Tyler Breeze, etc. How great of a mentor he was. Even Bailey and Sasha will tell you the same thing. He was just such a great guy and a mentor. He just want these guys and girls to succeed, and he cared so much at getting them over.
Yeah, Dusty must be proud of what NXT had accomplished after when he was not there anymore, when he was no longer there.
Now they have the Dusty now in NXT every year they have the Dusty Classic and tribute to Dusty Rhodes, which is awesome.
Yeah, the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, which the authors of Pain, the Undisputed Era, and the Cruiserweights won in honor of Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely,
and
but
Samoa Joe, the first team also to win the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic in the honor of Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah, Finn Balor and Samoa Joe, and at the time Finn Balor was the NXT champion.
Yeah, Samoa Joe was his next top feud for the title.
Yeah. Remember Takeover? I remember Takeover Respect. They beat Rhino and Baron Corbin when Corbin was actually good. When he wasn't King Corbin, by the way, guys.
Yeah. But anyways.
Yes. Moving on. So Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express.
Yeah.
So Matt and Jungle Boy, they start things off inside the ring. Very fast start, very fast-paced match. Now, this was a good match, though. Young Bucks showed some really heelish tactics, and both teams looked good in this match. This was very good. This was very good. Very, very good stuff. I love the Young Bucks. They are one of the best tag teams of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Outside of Usos and FTR or the Revival, the Young Bucks are just, you talk about top 3 greatest tag teams of all time, they are definitely on that list as the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
Legitimately.
And to think they were dressing up as DX before they were being bitten up by them.
I even remember the Young Bucks, didn't they used to be in TNA in the past, but Dixie just totally didn't know what to do with them, and they just left. And who can blame them? Remember that?
They were Generation Me.
Oh, my God. What the fuck is that name, Generation Me? Who comes up with that? Can you get any worse like with that? What kind of tag team can get what kind of tag team can get over with that kind of a name?
At least they can thank themselves that wasn't WWE, because if this was WWE, they could have gone a much worse name than that.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. So I don't know how much worse you can get than Generation Me. Like, that's so that's so hokey, man. What kind of a team who calls a tag team that? Generation Me, and then you wonder why they left TNA, and good on them.
Yeah.
Who can blame them? They left Dixie Carter in a heartbeat.
This was actually they were actually WWE. That is not named WWE. They were wrestling in the company that Vince McMahon is owning, that is not actually named Vince McMahon himself.
Yeah, Dixie Carter. And TNA back in the day, 10 years ago.
Yes.
All awful.
You wonder why they hate. Then you wonder why they hate her to this day because of that. And
who can blame him? And it's like, and I don't think they'd ever go back to TNA under Dixie. Ever. Though she's not there anymore, but my God. Awful. So bad. Anyways, so the match was very good, very fast-paced match at that as well. Tag team wrestling in AEW is stacked, man. Very stacked. The Revival are FTR. Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega. The Young Bucks, Jurassic Express, Private Party, Dark Order.
The Lucha Bros.
Lucha Bros. Yes. It's SCU, Lucha Bros. Man. What?
Best Friends.
Yes, Best Friends. Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta. And Santana and Ortiz.
Yes. Santana and Ortiz
part of the inner circle. Or part of the inner circle with Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and Jake Hagar, aka Jack Swagger. But yeah, very good match. So then Jungle Boy offered a handshake to Nick Jackson, but Nick Jackson stops the handshake right away. So right off that, you could tell Young Bucks were very heelish in this match, man. And yeah. So then Nick tags in Matt, and then Matt brings the attitude. Luchasaurus then gets the tag and boots both Matt and Nick Jackson down. Tail whip gets a 2 count. Every kick is found its mark by Luchasaurus. Then Matt avoids the attack soon, and the Bucks get a double drop kick before a bulldog drop kick combo, but only gets a 1 count. Then after that, a very telegraphed spot by Luchasaurus and the Bucks. And then Jungle Boy soon gets tagged in, and Matt begins his Northern Lights series. Very nice, by the way. Then he even takes the train to the outside. Then Jungle Boy is tossed over the barricade. Rick Knox continues his count then afterwards. Then the stunt sends Jungle Boy back in to help him beat the 10 count. Nick Jackson then has Jungle Boy down in a headlock to slow down the match. Headlock.
There's also another spot where Luchasaurus actually jumped onto the Young Bucks into the crowd.
Yes. Yep, that was another good spot in the match too. Then a double choke slam attempt, but Nick and Matt Jackson sweep down. But then Luchasaurus then sits right up. Is this Kane and Undertaker? My God. Though I'm not complaining, I have no issue with it, but Jesus, man.
Right.
Jesus. So then 2 roundhouse kicks and a choke slam onto both Matt and Nick Jackson. Then a moonsault on Matt, but Nick breaks the 3 count up. Then Matt fires away at Luchasaurus, but Luchasaurus slugs him stunned. Then Nick Jackson grabs the leg of Luchasaurus, so Jungle Boy leaps off his partner's back onto Nick. Then the moonsault by Saurus onto the outside. Really, really good stuff, man. Absolutely really good stuff, man. Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus and Young Bucks get a thumbs up for me, and a big fan of the Young Bucks and Jungle Boy, and Luchasaurus is nostalgia either, so this matchup just was so good. Just some really, really awesome stuff in this match, man. This is tag team wrestling here, folks. Not what you see on the main roster.
This is what the main roster should be, but Vince McMahon and Eric Donovan don't give a fuck.
Nope, they don't. Even with NXT, but that's because NXT doesn't have enough tag teams. Like, look what they did with the Street Profits and the War Raiders. They call them up when they should have stayed in NXT. And now look what they're doing on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, what is Andrade's been on with an Angel Garza for 50 times in the span of 3 months, and he thought, other than that, he's soon going to join the War Raiders, going to join the AOP in the release, in the massive release, very soon.
I'm hoping that's not the fucking case, but I would not be surprised, but hoping not. If that happens, man, I'm going off even more so, if that's the case. Terrible with the AOP getting released. Why release AOP but keep Braun Strowman and Jinder Mahal? I don't understand. In fact, I just read a report. Triple H and Paul Heyman even had plans for them to come back. But Vince, no, fuck AOP. I have nothing for them. I'll release them. Triple H cares. Vince doesn't care.
Man, Tony Khan somewhere must pick up the phone to decide Aikman Ray's up.
If he doesn't, he's kidding himself, man.
Or maybe he will not sign it because there's too much tag on his face.
Yeah, the AEW tag division is stacked as it is. I don't know if they're going to need AOP, but man, oh man, is their tag division so good, but just most of all stacked, man. They have a lot of tag teams, man. So many tag teams.
Tag team on your tag division in AEW. And they can erase up in the division. And it will be much better off for it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Like, let's see if they sign with AEW. Tony Khan will be foolish not to sign him, but we'll see what happens. But man, oh man, like I said, AEW tag division here, Raw and SmackDown tag division here. Yep. Legitimately. All Raw and SmackDown tag division is better than AEW tag division. Blow me. Blow me. There's no way it's better than AEW's tag division. It's not. It's not.
Look at the tag teams that are not being used, and look at how many of them are being injured.
Yeah. Like, look at who the tag teams that Raw has. Street Profits and Angel Garza and Andrade. 2 teams. That's not a fucking division. SmackDown's Cesaro Nakamura. Then you have the Lucha House Party. And then you have Heavy Machinery, Miz and Morrison. That's not 4 tag teams is not enough to be called a division.
There's the Hurt Business. They got the Hurt Business on Monday Night Raw, but they're having some stuff to do.
Yeah, they have the Hurt Business as well in Raw, and also on Raw they have the War Raiders, but they're on fucking Raw Underground doing nothing.
And they have Ricochet and Cedric Alexander, and they are being buried on Monday Night Raw.
Raw's not even using them. Send Ricochet and Cedric Alexander back down to NXT, where NXT could use some tag teams.
Yeah. How long before the War Raiders are released with the AOP, and we all could be pissed off?
Yeah. Hope not, but would not shock me.
Yeah. The only thing missing for the War Raiders and everything that is missing from the AOP is better creators.
Yeah.
What they're missing is AEW contracts as well.
Yeah. Literally. Anyway, so then towards the end of the match, Young Bucks go for the BTE trigger, but Jungle Boy reverses. Then they go for a Meltzer driver, but Jurassic Express hit their extinction level destruction for a very close 3 count. Looked very, very close there. But it got broken up just in the nick of time, man. Holy crap, man. Very, very good stuff. Then afterwards, Luchasaurus then leaps onto a crowd of AEW roster ringsiders with Nick Jackson mixed in. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Raw and SmackDown tag division should really take notes from this.
Luchasaurus, 300 pounds, is diving, doing a springboard to the crowd.
Unreal, man. Unreal. You gotta love it.
Hey, bro, Strowman, that's how you wrestle. Take notes from Luchasaurus.
Yeah, in fact, we talk about Brian Cage and Lance Archer and now Luchasaurus, the real monster among men. They're the real monster among men, not Braun Strowman. And sorry for all you Braun Strowman fans. Braun Strowman's not a monster. In fact, Roman Reigns made Braun Strowman.
All Braun Strowman does is reach. I can run fast.
That's all he does. That's all he does is run fast, and he destroys garbage, flips over ambulances and cars, and all he does is destroy rings with 500-pound superplexes, and all he does is gimmick matches. That's all he's good at.
Are we talking about an AEW pay-per-view?
What? What?
You heard me right.
Yeah, we're talking about Braun Strowman AEW pay-per-view. We're talking about AEW pay-per-view, but forget about Braun Strowman. Fuck him. Fuck Braun Strowman. And keep him off of TV, by the way, guys. Yes. Yeah, and yes, and by the way, today is Braun Strowman's birthday, so happy birthday to Braun Strowman. So, anyways, man.
Birthday to you, Braun. Please, can you please disappear from our WWE TV forever? And never show up again because you're fucking terrible, Mr. Braun Strowman.
Yep. Could not agree more. Could not agree more. So then, Jungle Boy gets hit with two double teams, including a super kick party, then the 2 count, but then a kick out by Jungle Boy. Then the Young Bucks then execute a BTE trigger on Jungle Boy for the 1, 2, 3, and the Young Bucks are your winners. Very good stuff. Both teams look good in this match, And Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus look good in defeat. And they're not buried. They look good in defeat. And I'm liking this heelish tactics of Young Bucks, man. I like it. While the Young Bucks are heels, faces, who's going to care? Everyone loves the Young Bucks.
Unless if your name Jim Cornette.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. He hates them because apparently they make fun of him.
Yeah, well. Yeah. Anyways, man, but I like the Young Bucks, but that shouldn't matter. But I do like Jim Cornette about the Young Bucks, that shouldn't matter though. But we all like the Young Bucks, and they know they're just one of the best tag teams in the world. Like, for you to say that they're not one of the best, you got to be delusional.
I guess they haven't watched their work in Japan or Ring of Honor, where they found an AEW.
In fact, at a Ring of Honor taping show at Manhattan Center, New York City, 2 years ago, I was in the front row and I had a too sweet selfie with Nick Jackson, and they'll never ever forget it. And stuff like that, you never ever forget. And not only the Young Bucks good at what they do, they're just very humble and they're passionate of what they do. So how do you hate the Young Bucks? You can't. You can't.
Well, Jim Cornette hates them because they made fun of him, apparently. And he's calling Matt Jackson Road Warrior Buck, and he's calling Nick Jackson Goldie Buck. And his YouTube channel.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Yeah. Young Bucks are one of the best tag teams in the world. Like, imagine saying that, like, Jinder Mahal and Nia Jax are better than the Young Bucks. They're not. Not even close to the Young Bucks. Or imagine saying Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler are better than the Young Bucks.
Anyways.
Yeah, moving on here. So, Young Bucks win against Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy in a very good tag team match.
And everyone looked good in it. Everyone looked good. No losers in this match. Everyone looked great at the end of this match.
No burials. WWE main roster would do burials, but not AEW.
Yeah. And Jurassic Express are more over for it. Jurassic Express are more over for it. They are future tag team champions. Come 2021, be the tag team champions.
Exactly. And I feel like even with this match, Young Bucks needed this win more.
Yeah.
Casino Battle Royal, 21 entrants. Now, the first set of entrants in this match were Trent, Christopher Daniels, Jake Hagar, The Blade, and Rey Fenix. Not Rey Mysterio, Rey Fenix, by the way, guys. So the bell rings and the first 3 minutes are underway.
He's the second coming of Rey Mysterio's Fenix.
They just look so similar. Now imagine a dream match, wherever that may be, whichever promotion it may be, a dream match between Rey Fenix and Rey Mysterio. What about that?
That would be awesome. And Rey Mysterio will put over Phoenix over big time.
Absolutely. Now, and that you talk about a 5-star match, that is the definition, the personification of a 5-star match, guys. That's how good Rey Fenix is, and he is no slouch at all. I've watched him in Poughkeepsie, New York, at Northeast Wrestling Show. It's at the Mid-Hudson Civic Center, Poughkeepsie, New York, a couple years ago in the main event. 5-star classic match with Kenny Omega. Very, very awesome stuff. Rey Fenix is so good at what he does. Do not ever sleep on Rey Fenix. He is so fucking good.
Yeah.
And so is Pentagon Jr. Now, bell rings and the first 3 minutes are underway with this match. Christopher Daniels gets downed by the Blade and Hagar, while Rey Fenix works on Trent Beretta. Fisherman's Neckbreaker by Blade on Christopher Daniels. Hard shots to Daniels by Jake Hagar. Daniels then shoves Blade into Jake and then does a 10-count punch on Blade. Trent hits a tornado DDT on Phoenix. Hagar blindsides the Blade. And then Hagar double leg slams Christopher Daniels, that like Greco-Roman wrestling slam that Jake Hagar usually does in matches. He does that on Christopher Daniels in the match. Then the Blade and Rey Fenix then try to dump Trent out, but he hangs on. Countdown starts. Second set of entrants are Frankie Kazarian, Will Hobbs, Chuck Taylor, and Santana and Ortiz. Now, Santana and Ortiz then hit Taylor with the steel baton they introduced a week ago in the Go Home show for All Out. By the way, Santana and Ortiz versus Best Friends last week on Dynamite was very, very good stuff. Easily probably one of the best matches on the show last week. So then with this Casino Battle Royal, Phoenix and the Blade then kick away at Hobbs, but Hobbs ducks in and dumps Blade. So the Blade is the first one eliminated in this Casino Battle Royal. Next set of entrants after the countdown happens. Third set of entrants, Billy Gunn, Pentagon Jr., Ricky Starks, Brian Cage, and Darby Allin.
Billy Gunn wrestling in fucking
the one and only, the inventor, the famous sir, 1/5 of one-sixth of D-Generation X.
What happened to the New Age Outlaws, Billy Gunn?
Yeah, absolutely.
Years of age in wrestling in 2020, at 57 years of age in AEW in the year 2020.
And one of the coaches in 2015 WWE Tough Enough. Remember that?
Yeah, producer in AEW, and he's an AEW producer.
Remember his work in Tough Enough in 2015 with ZZ?
Yes.
Oh man, he was rough on ZZ, man. I remember when ZZ's cardio was poor, really poor. My God.
And now he's a producer in AEW as well.
Yeah.
It's Billy Gunn.
Yeah. It's amazing he can still go even at 50.
Like, I wonder where are we? Where is he wrestling? Is he 2020 or 1998 for Billy Gunn? Like, where is he?
Or 1999 or 2000 during the Attitude Era. We must have stepped into a time capsule, man, or time machine.
Yeah.
But here we are, 2020. Billy Gunn is wrestling in 2020 at the age of 50, but it just comes to this day and age where age just doesn't matter. As long as you can still go in the ring, then that's all what should count.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Yeah, to be honest. And it's not just with Billy Gunn. AJ Styles, he's in his 40s. Look at the shape that he's in. Look at what he can still do.
Yeah.
Jeff Hardy, Rey Mysterio, etc. But anyways, moving on. So then Brian Cage immediately dumps out Billy Gunn. So Billy Gunn's eliminated. Then Darby Allin eliminates Rey Fenix. So Rey Fenix is eliminated. And then Chuck Taylor gets tossed out as well. So then Chuck Taylor's eliminated. Fourth set of entrants, Sean Spears, a.k.a. Ty Dillinger, Eddie Kingston, The Butcher, Sonny Kiss, and Lance Archer, the real monster among men, by the way, not Braun Strowman, guys.
Sonny Kiss. Sonny Kiss.
Oh, Sonny Kiss. Thanks for the correction. Sonny Kiss. Sonny Kiss, guys. So then Sean Spears immediately goes on to commentary before he makes his way to the ring. Then Sonny Kiss dumps out Jake Hagar, but then Cage catches Sonny Kiss and throws him out too. Then Santana charges at Trent, but he ducks.
Repeat that. Wait, repeat this again. Sonny Kiss eliminated Jake Hagar.
Yeah, Sonny Kiss eliminates Jake Hagar, but then Brian Cage catches Sonny Kiss and throws him out as well.
And Jake Hagar punches Sonny Kiss after he was
Yeah. So then
imagine going from a world heavyweight champion in WWE to being eliminated by a man dressed up as if he's a fucking woman in a battle royal.
My God. And Jack Swagger's world heavyweight title reign in 2010 in WWE, man, you're great on it. F is right. Embarrassed by the fucking Big Show, losing clean to Undertaker, Randy Orton, and John Morrison within a few weeks of the very beginning of his title reign.
Like, he was champion in his first 3 days as world champion. He was made to a joke after getting an RKO in a segment by Randy Orton.
And it's like he wins the briefcase at WrestleMania 36, holds a briefcase for a couple days. What was even the point of him even having the fucking briefcase? And he didn't deserve to win it. He wasn't even ready. That should have went to like guys like Christian in that match at that time, not Jack Swagger. My God.
At least he's a former world champion. At least he can say he's a former world champion. It's pro wrestling.
That's when he lost to Rey Mysterio at Fatal 4-Way 2010. Thank God.
At least Jake Hager can say he was a former world champion. He can at least say that. And be proud that he was a former world champion. At least.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But not be proud of his reign that he got. But not be proud of his reign that he got. But I think he can call himself a former world champion.
Exactly. So then Santana then charges at Trent, but he ducks and out goes Santana. So Santana is then eliminated. Then Lance Archer eliminates Trent Beretta and Ortiz. Lance Archer, the real Monster Among Men, guys, not Braun Strowman. I'm gonna keep saying that every single time I mention Lance Archer. So then the wild card entrant, Matt Sydal, aka Evan Bourne. So then Sydal immediately goes for the shooting star press or airborne.
Wait. Before that, he had a knee on Shawn Spears when he entered. He had a knee on Shawn Spears.
Yes. It's a knee on Shawn Spears. And then afterwards, Matt Sydal goes the top rope, goes for the shooting star press, but he slips, like I mentioned with the botch. Poor Matt Sydal, man. Poor Matt Sydal.
I hope he's okay, by the way. I hope he's okay and he doesn't have a neck injury.
Yep. Definitely. Hopefully he's not that hurt.
This guy. This will live on for eternity. For a fucking botch in his AEW debut.
And if he's going to sign with AEW soon, not a good start with him in AEW.
Like, where was Pac? Why did he enter the Battle Royal?
But he's with overseas because of the coronavirus. He can't. There's travel restrictions due to the coronavirus pandemic.
Well, what could? Or if not Pac, why couldn't Miro debut in AEW? Why couldn't Rusev make his AEW debut and be the wild card and not Matt Sydal? At least the botch with the shooting star press would have been avoided.
Yeah, at least Neville. He rarely botches the Red Arrow or the Neville or Pac. That corkscrew shooting star press, he rarely botches it, and he does it perfect.
Yeah.
A corkscrew shooting star press, a move that's very, very difficult to do, by the way, guys. You got to be extremely athletic to do that.
Yeah.
But anyways, then the very concerning moment. So then it's a very concerning moment after Sydal botches the shooting star. But however, he appears to be fine. So that was good. I'm glad he's all right after that botch spot, which looked dangerous and looked nasty. So then Pentagon Jr. then gets eliminated, and then so does Kazarian. Then Brian Cage inadvertently hits Ricky Starks, and Darby dumps him out. So then Ricky Starks is eliminated. And then in a rate, Ricky Starks then attacks Darby Allin on the outside of the ring before introducing a body bag. Brian Cage then dumps out thumbtacks into the bag and dips Darby in it, where the thumbtacks were in.
Christ.
My God. And then Cage powerbombs him onto the stage and eliminates him afterwards. So Darby Allin's then eliminated. Jesus, man. Very scary stuff, man. But, man, did that look fucking brutal. Absolutely fucking brutal.
All right.
Yeah, imagine being thrown in a bag, like slammed into the bag with a bunch of thumbtacks. My God. Reminiscent of Mick Foley. I remember WWE, the last time they did it was 2016 at Extreme Rules with Chris Jericho and Dean Ambrose, who's now John Moxley in AEW, man.
And they had thumbtacks all over Jericho's back.
Man, did that look freaking nasty, man.
At least Jericho, he was all right after the match. At least he was okay. I hope Darby Allin is okay. I mean, I know he's the second coming of Jeff Hardy, and he's a daredevil, and he risked his all. But please consider about your health and well-being. at least.
Exactly. Yep. Totally agree with that, man. Totally agree with that. Seidel then attacks Shawn Spears and then almost takes him out, but the two fight on the apron. Stomp on the apron, eliminate Spears. So then Shawn Spears is out. Then Hobbs hits Spinebuster onto Matt Seidel. Then Archer downs Hobbs before he trades shots with Brian Cage. Then hard kicks by one another, and then Cage flips out of a choke slam, which looked nice. Hobbs is then on the apron. Then Cage joins him, and Archer boots them both out. So Brian Cage and Will Hobbs are both eliminated here in this match. So then it's down to Lance Archer, the Butcher, Matt Seidel, and Eddie Kingston. So then Matt Seidel then dumps the Butcher. Butcher's out. Then Lance Archer hits a blackout on Matt Seidel. And then Eddie plows Seidel out on the apron. So then Matt Seidel's eliminated. So now we're down to Eddie Kingston and Lance Archer. And so then Jake the Snake Roberts, then introduces his bagged snake to Eddie Kingston, and it freaks him out a little bit. So this allows the Butcher and the Blade to try to even it all, but the power of Lance Archer prevails, and Eddie gets tossed out by the Murder Hawk. And Eddie Kingston's the last one eliminated, and the winner of the Casino Battle Royal and the winner with the future AEW World title shot, Lance Archer. Really good stuff, man. Really good stuff. Your thoughts?
Well, I thought it was good. I mean, some good stuff there, but legitimately, did the Battle Royal need to happen? Why are they doing these Battle Royals every double or nothing to get that all out? It should be on one show only. It should be on one pay-per-view only.
Yeah. In fact, this probably could have been saved for the pre-show.
If you need this to be your version of Money in the Bank of WWE, have it only on one pay-per-view. Have it only on Double or Nothing. Have it only happen on Double or Nothing every year.
Legitimately, but, as good as this was, but yeah, this could have been saved for the pre-show, to be honest. But I'm happy for Lance Archer, though, that he's the new number one contender for the AEW World title for the future.
Yeah.
And it should be really good. It should be really good with Lance Archer and Jon Moxley. In fact, I think it was last year they wrestled, or was it this year? They wrestled in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
They wrestled this year.
This year
where they had in Wrestle Kingdom.
Yes.
They wrestled with the U.S. fight when Jon Moxley was stripped of it, but he regained the championship. He never lost against Lance Archer.
Very good stuff. Hopefully they can repeat that in AEW. That would be great.
Yeah.
Maybe Lance Archer's the one to take the title off Jon Moxley, if it's not MJF.
Which we'll talk about later.
Yes. Because MJF and Jon Moxley was the main event, and I predicted MJF to win AEW Championship last night, but we're going to talk about what happened in the main event from last night with this very video. So, Lance Archer wins the Casino Battle Royal. Some decent stuff, but like Adam said, this definitely could have been saved for the pre-show. Didn't need to be on the main card, to be honest. Especially with a paper.
It should always happen on Double or Nothing. If you need your version of Money to Bank, you should always do it at Double or Nothing, not at All Out.
It's like this is like doing two Royal Rumbles on two different pay-per-views.
I think they maybe were watching 2018, the Royal Rumble in January. They had the greatest Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia after that.
Yeah, it's not necessary, to be honest. I would have done this on the pre-show, but again, happy for Lance Archer, and it should be some good stuff with MJF, Jon Moxley, and Lance Archer, though. But your thoughts on this match before we get to Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara?
I said earlier, some good stuff there.
Definitely.
But most of them were tag teams in this match. I mean, most of them were tag teams. Both the best friend, the Lucha Bros, and the Butcher Blade.
Yeah. Plus, I'm not a big fan of these multi-man matches. It's way too much chaos.
Yeah.
It just causes a lot of confusion. It's like too many cooks in the kitchen, and it's just a big mess. And nothing gets accomplished, and it's just a big old just train wreck. That's just my thought on that, but happy for Lance Archer, though. Matt Hardy, Sammy Guevara, broken rules match. Now, Adam, let me ask you this. What is a broken rules match?
I said it as well. I said it. I had no idea, but apparently someone getting broke in the match, which indeed someone was, but for all the wrong reasons.
Definitely. Now, we went over earlier Matt Hardy with the dangerous concrete spot. Don't need to go over that again, but brutal war stuff. But I don't think this is the last time they wrestle each other, Sammy Guevara and Matt Hardy, but they should not do this for at least a while.
Absolutely.
Definitely should not do this for at least a while, after especially the bump that Matt Hardy took. And like I said, I hope he's all right, and because that spot was just totally, that just looked really, really bad. Even when the table spot off the forklift, Matt missed the table. You just watch a spot, his head and neck area just missed the table big time.
Yeah.
And that's where it looked scary and dangerous. That shit like that fucking concerns me.
And that's what the people are mostly talking about of this show.
Yeah. The entire talk of the show was Matt Hardy, and who can fucking blame him?
But this is the only thing that the fans are remembering from All Out, and it's not even all for the wrong reasons.
Exactly. So they cut into Jacksonville's field, and then comes Sammy Guevara on the golf carts and the spin of irony. Then they go up a cherry picker, and Matt tumbles down through a table. Then Matt legit looks out, and the commentators put such over. Matt was just not there with this match, especially that concrete spot, man.
Yeah.
Totally. And then Matt answers the 10 count, but at an 8 count. But he's legit hurt. Hope Matt's not hurt. Hopefully Matt's not that hurt, but we'll see. Then Aubrey's...
Tony Khan said it that Matt Hardy was rushed from the hospital.
Yep. Immediately was taken to the hospital. Even Tony Khan said he checked on Matt, and then they had the match continue, but they had him rushed to the hospital afterwards, immediately.
Matt Hardy's taken him to the hospital. From what I heard, he said he's all right.
That's good. But still, that spot never ever should have happened.
Yeah, this should never happen again.
Tony Khan, they got to do better with that. Do better.
They might improve their mistake, and they might rectify their mistakes.
And on Dynamite Wednesday, they got to bounce back. I'm sure they will, but they have to bounce back.
Yeah.
They have to.
Same thing with Full Gear. Same with Full Gear on November 7th. So hopefully it's a great show as well.
It should be, but hopefully they redeem themselves.
Yeah, hope.
But then, like I said, towards the end of this thing, broken rules match, Matt Hardy, I believe it's the side effect on Sammy Guevara off this forklift through a table. Matt's head and neck misses the table, hits the concrete hard, 10 feet. 10 feet. And afterwards, Matt just wasn't there at all. He just wasn't there whatsoever. It just instantly looked bad.
Who did Matt think he was? Jeff Hardy?
Yeah. And I even wonder what Jeff was thinking about this last night. He's probably just as concerned as Matt's wife was last night.
Yeah.
My God, but this spot should have never happened, but Matt Hardy wins with the 10 count, and Matt wins this broken rules match against Sammy Guevara. Good stuff, but a bad spot. Just totally unnecessary. And should have never took place on this match and on this show. Next match, AEW Women's Championship. Thunder Rosa versus Hikaru Shida. I've heard a lot of recent stuff about Thunder Rosa. She's very good at what she does. I even watched her on Dynamite this past Wednesday. She was impressive.
Absolutely.
Now this is
what she does. Is Thunder Rosa.
Yep. Now this is a good women's match. Now the AEW women's division needs a lot of work, like I said earlier with this video. But Thunder Rosa and Hikaru Shida was a very good match, though. Very, very good stuff. Hikaru Shida, a Japanese wrestler like Asuka, Kairi Sane, Io Shirai. Now, look at what they're doing with Asuka on Monday Night Raw, having her dancing and all.
Why? It's another thing to dance while you're going to the ring, but why are you dancing everywhere backstage? Did she tell you off?
Legitimately. I mean, I love Asuka and she's good at what she does, but you don't need to do this dance thing all the time. And like, why? Imagine Hikaru Shida dancing.
Oh my god. Why?
One of the best Japanese female wrestlers in the world, and what you can't have her dance. That's cringeworthy. Cringe. Anyways, man, good match for the AEW Women's title. So it's a back and forth, and then Rosa downs Shida, then Shida triangles Rosa, but Rosa power bombs her. Good spot. Then Thunder Rosa goes for an ankle lock, but Hikaru Shida then makes it to the ropes for a rope break. Phil Nelson by Thunder Rosa, but it gets reversed and the two go back and forth. Kick and then forearms by Rosa. Then Shida hits back and Rosa chops her. Then an arm drag by Rosa, followed up with the Frankensteiner. Two drop kicks and both begin trash talking. Shida shoves. Rosa boots and elbows. She corners Shida and stomps a mud hole onto the champ. Then Rosa snapmares and back kicks. Then she maintains an offensive kick. Then hard chops into the corner. Two double knees in the opposite corner by Rosa. Gets a near fall. So, Thunder Rosa, the 1 week I've watched her, man, not bad at all at what she does. I think, isn't she in her early 20s, I believe?
I think.
She looks really young.
Yep.
And I believe Hikaru Shida, if not mistaken, she's in her mid or late 30s. And she doesn't look that old. And she's not old at all.
She's not that old. I mean, she's pretty good. She's good. She's actually good at what she does.
Imagine Hikaru Shida versus Asuka.
That would be something.
Or Hikaru Shida, wherever the promotion may be, versus the Io Shirai. Imagine Hikaru Shida versus the Genius of the Sky, Io Shirai.
Maybe there'll be a woman match with all four Japanese women. Asuka, Kairi Sane, Jory left anyway, and Io Shirai and Hikaru Shida.
Yep. And by the way, guys, speaking of Kairi Sane, in case you didn't know, for the new guys watching this channel and stuff, Kairi Sane left back in July of 2 months ago, left the WWE to be with her husband because she wants to start a family. So happy for her on that. Congratulations to Kairi Sane because she was married this past February.
Good for her.
Very, very good for her. So then the Total World backbreaker by Shida and the odds are even. And then Rosa towards other spots. Rosa then looks for a Thunder Driver, but does an Oklahoma Stampede instead into a backbreaker. Look, that looked nice. But that gets a 2 count, though. Not enough to knock down Hikaru Shida. Not enough to beat Hikaru Shida for the AEW Women's Championship. Then Shida soon locks in a Buzz Killer mid-ring, and Thunder rolls back in for a pin attempt. Hanging pendulum submission by Thunder Rosa before bouncing Shida's head off the bottom turnbuckle. A double leg drop mid-ring gets turned into almost stretch muffler, but Rosa regains control. Rosa goes for a bomb, but Shida snakes free. But Shida shakes free. Sorry. Then she once more almost knocks in a stretch muffler, but no dice. The two then charge at one another and hits a running knee strike. Shida then hits a suplex for a 2. Shida goes for a Falcon Arrow, but Rosa rolls over for a 2 count. So nice back and forth action here between both ladies here. And then towards the end of this match, and then the one spot, and then another one spot in the match towards the end of the match. Thunder Rosa then spins Sheeta, but Sheeta rolls free, and the two get stalemated. Sheeta then catches Rosa with one unique backbreaker, close fall. Sheeta then hits her running knee finisher for the rock-solid victory, and Hikaru Shida is still your All Elite Wrestling Women's Champion. Very good match. Very, very good match.
I'll tell you that.
What happened?
I told you.
Yeah. Yeah, very good match for AEW Women's Division, to be honest. Now, like I said, AEW Women's Division needs some time to improve and needs some work to do, but
maybe when the pandemic is over. When the pandemic is over, they can improve.
Hopefully. But this was a good match here, and I give props to both ladies for killing it here in this match from last night at All Out. I wonder who's next for Hikaru Shida. And I wonder who's the right one to take the title off her.
I don't know.
It could be anyone. I don't. They could do Britt Baker, but I don't know. But Hikaru Shida, I've been liking her lately with AEW. She's definitely one of my top favorites in AEW. She's really good at what she does.
She's actually good. She's great.
She's definitely great. Absolutely no denying that. But she retains the AEW Women's title though last night All Out over Thunder Rosa, and maybe and hopefully Thunder Rosa and maybe Thunder Rosa signs with AEW.
Maybe NWA and AEW could form a partner.
They could do that.
Yep.
Let's find out where we'll see where she ends up. But if I'm Tony Khan, I would not pass up on her.
Yeah.
Definitely, I would definitely not pass up on her whatsoever. And she's very good. She's very impressive.
Yeah.
So then Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford then announced that they're getting married and that kind of stuff.
Married on television?
Yeah. They announced that they're getting married, but first they have to have a bachelor's party.
Oh my God. Why? A marriage on television, why?
Oh man. But who knows? Maybe it's better than the ones that the main roster does on WWE. Maybe this is better than Lashley Lana wedding.
Let me start with you. I don't like weddings being made on live TV. If there was one wedding segment that I love in a wrestling ring was the Macho Man Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth at SummerSlam 1991.
Yeah, at least Savage had charisma back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah, and this was actually the best wedding segment that was made on wrestling television was Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth at SummerSlam 1991 live on pay-per-view.
Totally, dude. Totally. But I don't know how this one's going to end up. Do you think it's going to be worse than Lashley and Lana side?
I said it was fucking awful.
The Lana and Lashley wedding.
It was, because you all know it, what it is.
The Bobby Lashley and Lana wedding from Raw at the end of 2019 last year, that was so bad. Do you think this one's going to be better than that or worse than that?
And Rusev pumped up the cake and Liz Morgan showcased herself as a fucking lesbian.
Liz Morgan said she wanted Lana.
What? Liz
fucking terrible.
What a goofball.
That was the best she had for Liv Morgan for her return last year. At the end of last year.
Yeah, the best you had was a fucking storyline with Lana.
And a fucking cuckold storyline with Rusev, Lana, and Bobby Lashley last year. Remember that?
Nobody wants to be reminded of that. Nobody.
They had Lashley and Lana make out with Rusev's wife make out with Bobby Lashley with Rusev right in front of Rusev, and Rusev did nothing about it. He just stood there like an idiot. He stood there like a blithering imbecile. Yeah, this was supposed to be the cuck storyline late last year in 2019 for WWE with Mike and Maria Kanellis.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Mike and Maria Kanellis, the two people that signed for 5 more years with WWE, but then they got released in April. Fucking idiots.
Well, they weren't for the company. They were only there for themselves and for the money. And they didn't care about what they were doing.
And do you have sympathy for Mike and Maria Kanellis? I know you guys don't. I'm sure you don't.
Yeah. Absolutely not.
They're idiots. You sign 5-year deals with the company, with WWE, but then you get cut anyways. But it's like, even Mike Kanellis he didn't even tell his boss Vince McMahon that Maria was pregnant after they signed 5-year deals with the company. What an idiot!
What a goofball! What a goofball!
Oh man, I have absolutely zero sympathy for Mike and Maria Kanellis, man. And what if they went to AEW?
Who will even care?
No, no one will care. You're right. Absolutely right.
Nobody cares about.
Yeah, the power of love.
Yeah, the power of hate is what they got.
Legitimately, no pun intended. But anyways, man, moving on. Dark Order versus Natural Nightmares, Scorpio Sky, and Matt Cardona, a.k.a. Zack Ryder. This is an 8-man tag. I'm not really into these multi-man matches, man. Your thoughts?
This one's pretty good. This is actually one of the best multi-man matches AEW did.
Yeah. Now, I will say, though, as much as I don't like the multi-man matches, this was definitely a good match. She had some good spots in here.
It told a good story. I legitimately told the Dark Order everybody told a good story that Dustin Rhodes wants to get revenge for Cody after he was squashed by Brody Lee. And Colt Cabana getting pinfall, losing the match to the Dark Order.
And Brody Lee, when he beat Cody Rhodes for the TNT title, man, did Brody Lee or Luke Harper look like a beast, man. Holy shit. Destroyed Cody Rhodes, man. Destroyed him. Just absolutely destroyed him.
He did, absolutely.
Now, there was one spot where there was where Dark Order taunts their opponents, but Cardona says Cardona stays contained. Then a falling neckbreaker opens a window. Then Dustin gets the tag, and Dustin comes in on fire. Hard shots, Manhattan drop, and then a power slam. Canadian Destroyer by the Natural. Scorpio and Brody Lee then square off. Anna Jay then tries to distract, but it backfires, and Brandy closes that out. Heads by Sky on Lee. Then Grayson goes for Uranagi, but Sky hits a TKO on him. Really nice. Uno then breaks up a victory and double tags Cardona, who hits his radio silence. Uno then goes for a powder before diving onto the outside. Radio silence attempt on Lee, but he turns it into a power bomb. Man. Gotta love Brody Lee, man. For a guy his size, he can work. He can fucking work. And it boggles me why WWE let this guy go, man. Like, Vince wanted to have a Southern accent, and they kept him off television. Remember that last year?
Yeah, Vince hates Southern accent. Vince McMahon doesn't hate Southern accents yet. He wanted to market to a Southern accent.
How dare Vince? How dare he?
Yeah, I mean, he hates a Southern accent, yeah, but he wants one of his employees to do a Southern accent. What?
And
Is Vince McMahon even a human being at this point?
I mean, just fear of what happens when Cameron Grimes gets called up to the main roster. Good old Cameron Grimes is going to get pushed straight to the moon.
Can you imagine if he's forced to do a Southern accent by Vinnie Mac?
Or imagine if Cameron Grimes is on Monday Night Raw and he says he's going to get pushed to the moon on Raw Underground, man.
Well, Cameron Grimes will be pushed on the main roster, right to the back, to catering, right to catering.
Yeah,
it's where it will be pushed.
Cameron Grimes stands -0 chance on the main roster. I'll tell you that now. Keep him in NXT, please. He will be so awful on the main roster, and it won't even be his fault. Terrible. I don't even want to think about that at all. But Brody Lee, man, when he was Luke Harper in WWE, man, did they drop the ball big time on this guy. Look at early 2017 at Elimination Chamber when he had that really good match with Randy Orton, man. Really good stuff. But then guess what they did with him afterwards?
Guess what they did? They had put him in a match at WrestleMania with Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton.
They refused to do it.
Yeah. And they opted to go with Jinder Mahal.
Awful. And by the way, Jinder killed SmackDown 3 years ago in 2017 when he was the WWE champ, by the way, guys.
Nothing but a fan. It's Jinder Mahal. Nothing but a fan.
Absolutely. Absolutely, but it still boggles me. Luke Harper, man. He had WWE totally dropped the ball on him. How do you drop the ball on a guy like Luke Harper? How? And he's not bad in the ring at all. Like, how do you let go Luke Harper, but you keep a guy like Braun Strowman? How?
Or Mahal.
Yep. Or someone like gosh, who was there currently on WWE on the main roster? Like, how do you keep someone like Lacey Evans, Tamina Snuka, Dana Brooke, but you fire Luke Harper?
Or you fire the AOP, or you fire, or you let Matt Hardy go without having plans to use it.
Stupid. Absolutely stupid. But Luke Harper, Brody Lee, man, he's so proven WWE wrong big time. He's making them look like idiots even more so now. Look at what he's doing right now in TNA and TNT on AEW right now. I was gonna say TNA. Screw TNA. But look at what Brody Lee's doing right now in AEW.
He's doing the best work he's ever done. It's his life family.
In fact, him leaving WWE last year, that was the best thing for him. Totally the best thing for him.
And he asked for his release, and they didn't grant his release, and they extended his contract for 6 months because he was hurt.
And didn't Triple H suggest that, you have to let? Didn't he suggest to Vince too? Was Triple H? He told Vince, you got to just let him go. If he wants out, just let him out.
Yeah, because he wants to wrestle, Luke Harper. If he wants to wrestle, then let him do what he loves to do best.
Legitimately. You don't just hamper down, you don't just contract control like what Vince does. You can't do that to these guys, man. You can't. That's a bad business move. Just hoarding talent. You can't do that. If these guys want out, just let them go. If they're not unhappy, just let them fucking go.
Like he didn't want to let the Revival go.
Yeah. Even WWE and Vince McMahon tried to throw a bunch of money offers left and right at the Revival, and the Revival turned all of them down. Even a deal for $1 million for a contract for 5 years, and the Revival still turned that down.
Like $1 million per Revival member, per one member for the Revival,
and they still turned that down.
Yeah, WWE had no choice but to let them go.
Yeah, legitimately. Luke Harper leaving the WWE was the best thing for him. Yeah. Now look at him. Arguably the best work of his life right now.
Yeah.
And I love it, man. I love it. Absolutely, man. Definitely like it, man. So then, at the end of this match, Brody Lee then willingly tosses AT to Dustin Rhodes for the tag. Then the two tee off on one another. Brody Lee then goes for a bomb or power bomb, but Dustin Rhodes rolls free. Brody Lee, however, then lariats Dustin Rhodes down. And then he tags in Colt Cabana. Then Colt Cabana goes for a moonsault. Dustin rolls him up for the win out of nowhere. And the Natural Nightmares and Scorpio Sky and Matt Cardona get the win in this 8-man tag team match.
That tells a good story. It tells a good story there.
Definitely does.
Sooner rather than later, Colt Cabana is going to be attacked by the Dark Order. Sooner rather than later.
Yep. Absolutely. So in post-match, Dustin then gets hoisted onto the shoulders of his teammates in celebration. Then Brody Lee gets pissed at Colt, who accepts responsibility, yet he's confused. And then Uno tries to console Cabana as they walk out of the ring.
Yeah.
Then Shivani catches up with Dustin, who is fired up. He says they did it for Cody. Tony reveals that he's going up against Brody Lee for the TNA Championship this Wednesday on Dynamite. Then he's even more fired up and he's gunning for Blood Daddy.
Make my mind. Brody Lee versus Dustin Rhodes Dynamite. This should be good.
Should be very good stuff, man. Absolutely some good stuff, man. FTR, the Revival, with Tully Blanchard versus Adam Page and Kenny Omega for the AEW World Tag Team Championships.
Another guy who WWE dropped the ball. The Revival. Scott Dawson and now known as FTR.
Now look at them in NXT. They were so good in NXT. Then they get called up to Monday Night Raw. Then what do they do with them? They get injured. Then the other member of the Revival gets injured. Then it all went downhill from there.
And they were buried to DX on Raw 25.
Yep. And then they had them in the B-Team Barbecue food fight on an episode of Raw in late May of 2018 on Memorial Day Raw. They had this B-Team Barbecue food fight on that Raw. They had Scott Dawson waving around a hot dog. So embarrassing. And then, and I don't want to remind you this, guys, from an episode of Raw from the spring of last year, on Raw, the springtime of last year.
They lost the Lucha House Party.
No. Well, Raw late 2018, they, at least a couple different times, Raw late 2018, the Revival losing to the Lucha House Party with this Lucha Rule bullshit. And then they had these 3 pinatas, so fucking bad. And then Monday Night Raw, on an episode of Raw, the spring of last year, Usi Hot, with the Usos and the Revival. Usi Hot.
And they had Dash Wilder shaving Scott Dawson's back in the toilet.
Oh my, fucking embarrassing, man. Then they had them as Shane McMahon's lackeys when Shane was on television a lot in 2019 last year. Remember that? My God. They were with Randy Orton for a brief time and run the fall time of last year, but they should have kept them with them, man. They should have. But Usi Hot, that was fucking embarrassing. You thought the pinata shit with the Lucha House Party was bad. My God. And it wasn't in the Usi Hot segment, it wasn't even funny. I didn't even laugh. I cried when I watched that. It was so fucking bad.
And I was pissed. And they before they offered the Revival 5-year deals worth $500,000 a year per Revival member, and they refused the deal. And what did they do? They had them having Dash Wilder shaving Scott Dawson's back in the shower. Well, they were having a shower on Monday Night Raw. And that's no doubt.
My God, fucking bad, fucking embarrassing and humiliating. Why would you even want to sign 5-year deals with that company after being embarrassed on worldwide television like that?
Yeah, but they didn't give a shit about them for 2 years on the main roster, but now they still wanted them to stay, so they don't go to AEW or anywhere else. And what did the Revival do? They still wanted the releases, which was granted as the following year in 2020 that we are today right now.
Yeah, like I said, Luke Harper, Revival leaving WWE was the best thing for them. Now look at them. Now they're the first ever tag team in wrestling history to win the NXT, Raw, SmackDown are now the AEW tag team titles, which is incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Absolutely incredible.
Now, this match was very good, though. FTR and Omega and Page. Brainbuster by Dax. Hangman then levels FTR out, and Kenny Omega then soon hits a Tiger Driver 98 for a close fall. V-trigger followed by a one-winged angel attempt. Then FTR figures it out, and the two give the two dragon screws to Omega in the ropes. Then a reverse leg lock along with some rope grabbing furthers the pain for Omega. Then Kenny is in a bad way as Hangman Page is having a hard time getting back on the apron. Now, Kenny Omega then looks for a cross-arm breaker, but Dax counters it and continues to work on the right knee of Kenny Omega. Typical Revival, they work on the legs of the opponents and weakens them in matches. Very typical Revival stuff. I like it. This match reminded me a lot of NXT Revival, not Raw, not main roster Revival, not the Revival that they were on Raw just being embarrassed by with Uchiha. Now, but yeah, this match reminded me a lot of NXT Revival. Your thoughts?
This was great. That match was awesome. One of the best tag team matches of the year.
And I like it when the Revival or FTR works on the knees of your opponents. That's a good strategy in matches. You work on the legs and it wears your opponent down. It's smart. It's really smart, and I appreciate that a lot. So then Omega's favoring his knee, and then as Hangman Page goes to check on his partner, Turner then tries to get him back in his corner. FTR look like sharks that smell blood in the water, and as they make the most of isolating Kenny from Page. So FTR really works on Kenny Omega's legs in this match, and then FTR later takes control of the match, and as they begin to butter off Kenny, double diving headbutts by FTR and gets the near fall, but Kenny Omega breaks it up. Then the announcers reference Bulldog and Dynamite Kid. FTR then does a Doomsday Bulldog onto the outside. Shade to the Steiner Brothers, really nice spot. Wheeler then misses an attack, and Kenny clears any option of a double team by FDR. Then Cash and then Cash is dazed up top. Fall away slam from the top gets a pin attempt by Adam Page, but a kick out by Cash. Then Wheeler is down. Yeah, Cash Wheeler or Dash Wilder. Then Wheeler is down, and they set him up for last call. And Cash ducks Kenny. And then Kenny avoids. But Hangman can't avoid a V-trigger. Then they take out the knee of Kenny, a mind breaker by FTR, and Hangman leaves shoulder up. They go for another one and execute it. Kenny goes to make the save, but Dax him, and FTR get the win in the title change. And the FTR are your new AEW Tag Team Champions. Very good match.
Absolutely.
Now after this match, there's a quarrel up with the Young Bucks backstage, and Matt and Nick Jackson then try to settle Omega and Page down, but to no dice, and he gives them some sort of ultimatum with Kenny Omega, I believe so. Who do you think turns heel, with Omega or Page?
Omega.
The cleaner, Kenny Omega.
Yeah, Kenny Omega.
Yeah, I could see him playing a good heel. He's a good babyface, but I could see him playing an excellent heel.
Yeah, he played it well in New Japan as the cleaner. Definitely. But but Adam Page and Kenny Omega, when they do eventually feud, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be really awesome. Yeah, it's going to be one of the best storylines that AEW puts on. Hopefully.
Hands down. Hands down. So then the Mimosa Mayhem match, Chris Jericho versus AEW's R-Truth version. Yep. Version. Orange Cassidy. Definitely my top two favorites in AEW right now. Orange Cassidy. The one guy that is over by basically just doing nothing. But he's awesome. He is so awesome. Now, before this match, Chris Jericho's backstage. He says that Orange Cassidy is a main event talent because of him. But Les Champions will destroy him, says Mr. Chris Jericho. He also says that Orange did a great job, but he's done and will be destroyed at the hands of the Demo God. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, man. You got to love Chris Jericho. The guy just always finds a way to reinvent himself, whether it's him in WCW, ECW, WWE, AEW. The guy is one of the greatest of all time. Hands down. Is Chris Jericho.
Yep.
Yeah. And definitely a future WWE Hall of Famer, by the way, guys. He's done it all.
Absolutely.
Now, Orange Cassidy, Chris Jericho. Mimosa Mayhem match. Aubrey Edwards is officiating this match, and as we see two vets on opposite sides of the ring. Orange feigns his pockets spot, but then he charges at Chris Jericho. Codebreaker, 2 count. What? Oh. So Codebreaker gets a 2 count. Jericho then chops Orange Cassidy. He sends Orange hard into the corner before playing it to the crowd for boos. So an Orange fights back, but Jericho soon goes for the walls of Jericho. He catapults him over the ropes and nearly into the vat. Nothing doing. Jericho tosses a table at Orange Cassidy. He hits him with a tray over the head, shattering it into pieces. Then Jericho goes to toss him once more into the vat, but Orange Cassidy throws him off the platform. Orange then follows up with a plancha. Hard shots by Cassidy on the outside.
Yep.
Then we had some Y2J chants during this match too at Daly's place. Then Orange Cassidy goes for Hurricane Rana, but Chris Jericho catches him. He lucks into powerbomb him into the vat, but Orange fires away with punches, causing Jericho to powerbomb him on the table of bubbly instead. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly. Oh, man. Love it, man. Love it, love it. Very little of the match has been in the ring, but Jericho gets kicked by Cassidy and then hits him with the champagne bucket. Hard battle between the two as they finally meet center ring. They find themselves on the other side, and then Orange Cassidy nearly gets kicked in the vat, but Sunset flips over. Yeah, and hits a Mikanucha driver on Jericho for a near fall in the middle of the ring. And then the two men are on their knees trading shots. Really good match here, guys. Really good match here. And then this finish of the match, man. I watched it on Twitter. Man, oh, man. Chris Jericho and Orange Cassidy are top rope. Jericho's going for the razor's edge off the top rope into the orange juice thing on Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy slips out of it. Superman punch number 1. Shades of Roman Reigns, by the way, guys. Superman punch number 1 from Orange Cassidy. And then the second Superman punch from Orange Cassidy. Jericho goes flying into the orange bubbly. And Orange Cassidy wins this match. Good stuff. Your thoughts?
Or Chris Jericho. Now, another match he invented, and he loses.
And who do you think does a better Superman punch, Roman Reigns or Orange Cassidy? It's hard to choose, but as much as I like Roman Reigns, I gotta go Orange Cassidy, man. Your thoughts?
His Jim Cornette's little dog pockets.
The AEW R-Truth. Imagine a tag team between R-Truth and Orange Cassidy, man.
That would be awesome.
Orange Cassidy, and he's just organically over. He has his hands in his pockets, and he's just over. Him hating on Orange Cassidy, you gotta be crazy. You gotta be mental. And I do think whether that's sooner or later, I think he's I don't know what you think, a future AEW World Champion.
He's got shots for the World Championship, hopefully. Sooner rather than later. He'll be a star. And he's a star in the making.
And I think he's AEW World title material, but sooner or later I think he is. But he's doing really good right now in AEW, and I'm very happy for him.
But he should be serious.
Yes.
Most of the time. Serious when the time is right.
Not like this Kofi Kingston stuff from last year when he was flipping pancakes.
Like, he is R-Truth without even rapping.
Legitimately. Except he's not with Shayna Baszler, and he asked her, can he get her some good fish? Oh, man.
Literally, there are truth. Literally, he's AEW's answer to WWE, to R-Truth.
Yep, legitimately. So then we have a brief preview for Full Gear, and then it's gonna happen on November 7th on pay-per-view. So then, main event time. AEW World Title on the line. Jon Moxley defends against MJF with Wardlow.
The stipulation for this match.
Yes. The Paradigm Shift, or almost like a Dirty Deeds, but lifting version.
Of the Dirty Deeds that he used in WWE, but this time you have to get your opponent up.
Yeah.
You hit him the back of the head. Right in the head.
And with this match, you couldn't use the move. So, I want to get your now before we get out of here. What's your thoughts on this?
Pretty good. It told a great story between MJF and Jon Moxley.
Absolutely. And by the way, guys, MJF, I don't think he was buried in this thing, but by the way, guys, and sorry, Baron Corbin fans out there, MJF is a better heel than Baron Corbin.
And told a great story. And after tonight, MJF could get another world title match based on what happened tonight.
Absolutely. And MJF is a better heel than Baron Corbin. Sorry, guys, Baron Corbin is not a better heel than MJF. I'm sorry. He's not. AKA Loser Corbin. The king of losers.
Burger King, Baron Corbin.
Yes. Even Burger King Corbin can't even flip a burger at Burger King. Yet Baron Corbin, the same guy that says, "Oh, Matt Riddle don't belong on SmackDown." Really now, Mr. Corbin? The same Baron Corbin that says, "Oh, the fans don't know what they're talking about. They're the problem with WWE main roster product, and no, they don't like anything." He hasn't blocked me yet, by the way, guys. Baron Corbin has not blocked me yet on Twitter, folks, but he's blocked Adam on Twitter.
No, he doesn't. He hasn't blocked me yet as well.
He hasn't blocked you. Would you be shocked if he blocks you?
No, because Baron Corbin is a cup.
Oh, man. He is. And he doesn't even have muscles on his body. He looks like a toothpick. I think he used to have attitude issues in NXT before he was called up in 2016, I believe, right?
Yeah. I think he forgot to put steroids in his ass to get some muscle.
Yeah, now that'll get him a push like Jinder Mahal did in 2017, but please don't remind me of that. That was so awful. Oh my God. And remember when Corbin failed to cash in his Money in the Bank, but lost to a roll-up from Jinder Mahal after he took 2 AAs from Cena, one off the top rope. That was bad though, but He turns around, punches Cena, Jinder rolls Corbin up for a 3 count. Are you an idiot? I guess Cena's more important than cashing in your Money in the Bank briefcase, Mr. Corbin, huh?
Even if having a successful WWE title run.
Oh man, remember Corbin as Constable Corbin. Nope. And this is the same guy who retired Kurt Angle at WrestleMania 35.
What did it do for his career?
Mm-mm.
MJF, Brock Lesnar, Bayley, and Randy Orton teach him how to be a good heel.
Legitimately. Like what and what MJF and what Bayley and Orton, who's the other guy you mentioned?
MJF, Randy Orton, Bayley, Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. And Roman Reigns even. Those guys should, it's like Corbin should take notes from those guys. That is how you play a fucking heel. What Corbin is go away heat. That's not, he's booed for the wrong reasons. MJF is booed for the right reasons. There's a very big difference there.
Yeah.
But this match was pretty good, even though MJF lost, and I even predicted MJF to win the title here. But looks like we're getting MJF, Jon Moxley, and Lance Archer, which I don't mind. Your thoughts?
It could be interesting. I mean, Wardrow interfered, and the referee was distracted, and Jon Moxley connected the Death Rider on MJF.
Yep. And now there is the one spot, the finish of this match, where Moxley did this finisher, the finisher that was banned in this match. He did it anyways, but the referee's back turned, and Moxley retains. Now, I think, MJF could make a case, he did it and the move was banned in the match, but the ref never saw it. MJF could bring this up on Dynamite.
Yeah, he could bring it up on Dynamite. There will be a reason to get another title.
Do you think maybe we get a triple threat with Moxley, MJF, and Archer at Full Gear?
I predicted.
What? Yep, we could get a triple threat for the title at Full Gear. You never know. But still AEW World Champion Jon Moxley. Then post-match, we get a picture-clear shot of Lance Archer looking on with Jake the Snake Roberts. And maybe Lance Archer's the one to take the title off Jon Moxley, man. The real monster among men, by the way, guys, is Lance Archer, not Braun Strowman.
Lance Archer is serious, and he does not run fast like Mr. Strowman does.
And
like the clown himself, Strowman does.
Remember the last SmackDown on Fox of 2019 last year? Remember when Braun Strowman danced with the fucking New Day?
My God.
Remember, Lance Archer doesn't dance, but Braun Strowman, the clown, dances.
And Lance Archer is serious. He goes in the ring and he's all serious.
Braun Strowman's just a one-trick pony. That's the big difference. Archer here,
yeah.
Strowman here. And Strowman can't wrestle out of a paper bag.
And Lance Archer, he goes to the ring and destroys his opponent and gets the victory.
That's a monster.
Yeah, there is a monster. And he's someone taken serious by Tony Khan and Cody Rhodes in the Bucks and Omega.
Yeah, Braun Strowman's not the monster among men. You know who's a monster among men? Lance Archer, Brian Cage, Luchasaurus. That's a monster among men. Braun Strowman is the...
They used to come in the ring and they dance around and they act like complete morons and they don't run fast. And they act like they run fast.
And all Braun does is run fast, and all he does is destroy garbage. He flips over vehicles, and he does gimmick matches. That's all Braun is good at doing.
Yeah.
In fact, Roman Reigns made Braun Strowman 3 years ago. Without Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman is nothing.
Absolutely.
Absolute nothing. Yeah. Anyways, man, that was your AEW All Out 2020 review. decent show, but could have been a lot better if not for the Matt Hardy spot. I mean, if Matt Hardy spot just unnecessary, and again, the show could have been better, but still a good show though. Nonetheless, we got some good wrestling and should be good pay-per-view with Full Gear. Your final thoughts before we get the hell out of here.
But outside, it could have been better if the opening match with Rip Baker and Big Swole and the Matt Sydal botch and the opening discussion never happened.
I agree. So all in all, decent show last night and a good show last night, but could have been better. But still a good show though. But that is that. And that is your AEW All Out 2020 review. And we're gonna get out of here. And thank you guys so much for joining me here on the Furious Nation channel for the All Out 2020 review. I hope you guys had a good time. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for joining me for this review here for AEW All Out 2020 from last night. I'm Nick Fiore. This is the Furious Nation channel. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And yeah, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell for all notifications. And yes, as far as that goes with this very video. Follow me on Twitter at FioreNick579. Follow Adam on Twitter as well. You can add me as a friend on Facebook if you like. You can add Adam as a friend on Facebook if you like. And also follow me on Instagram at NicholasFiore2014 over on Instagram. And I will see you later on this week for the Monday Night Raw review. And that is that. I'm Nick Fiore. Thank you guys so much for joining me here for the All Out 2020 review video. And I will see you later on for Monday Night Raw. Talk to you guys later. Thank you. See you guys later. Yes. Talk to you guys later.